What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 15 of the Beefy Boys Bud Club. I'm Joe, and I'm joined here with Christian.
Hello.
And Vito.
What it do?
And let's get right into it, I guess. Our beer of the week this
sir.
week is the Two Beers Brewing Co. out of the Soto district of Seattle, Washington.
For our 8-minute beer intro of the week.
Uh-huh.
So what kind of beer is it? What do we got?
It is a mango passion fruit IPA.
Damn.
Now, this was an audible, which is a football reference, Vito. This was an audible because our original plan was to give that blood orange cider I keep talking about, but the one little bodega I know that sells it is not open on Sundays. I found out today. So
Bodega, huh?
Yeah, it means like a little indie
Tiny
shop.
shop.
I'm gonna crack mine too. Ready? Now my mom says that the cracking is corny, but I don't care.
Yeah,
I
fuck
like
that.
it. I like it.
Corny is what we are. It's
exactly.
what we do.
That sure is.
A little info about Two Beers Brewing Company. Life's just a little more honest after 2 beers. That's their slogan here on their website. Celebrating 20 years in the Soto district of Seattle, huh?
Damn.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So that's old school. That's like 99. Oh my God, 1999 is 20 years ago. That makes me feel so old.
That means Limp Bizkit. That means Limp Bizkit was famous 20 years ago.
How old is Fred Durst now? Like 50?
Oh God, I don't know. He's up there. Yeah, you said Audible, and while we're talking football and beer,
Isn't Audible?
let's talk about this shitty Pro Bowl, huh?
Isn't Audible an audio editing software?
Yes.
Yes. But
Vito, for the weekly explaining football terms to Vito, typically the coach will call the play and then the offense will run it. But if the quarterback is about to run the play and he sees the defense knows what he's about to do, he'll change the play at the line by shouting a bunch of nonsense words. And that's called an audible because you change the play with sounds.
Because you can hear it.
Exactly.
So it's audible.
Mine is being blown.
Also, this mango passion fruit India Pale Ale by Two Beers Brewing Company, shout out, is pretty good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah?
it's a little more bitter than I like,
See, it's like not bitter enough for me.
but
Yeah,
I'm
for
just
me,
not a big
it doesn't
bitter
have
guy.
any
What I do like is the aftertaste of
beer.
the aftertaste. It does taste like fruit.
Yeah,
You get the
I was going to say it
aftertaste-
tastes like a fruit roll-up.
You taste, you taste the fruit aftertaste, and that's pretty good. That's what I like about it. It actually cuts out like too much of the bitterness that I don't like, but it brings in a good what should I say? Like a good little fruity flavor to kind of get you back in the mood of taking another drink, you know. And like I said, everybody who's a regular listener, they know I'm not an IPA guy. I'm gonna have to explain that every episode just so you know when you hear what I say, this is like my dead honest like opinion of a beer. If I don't like it, I'll say I don't like it. But this one, I'll give this one a pass. I like this one.
I got to give a shout out to occasional listener / CSM at MetMart, Matt Norberg, who checked us out today as we were buying this.
Oh yeah,
Because he
what's up?
definitely said you would call this a quote unquote, what did he say, spooky beer?
Yeah.
And then he talked shit about your taste in beer. So.
Shout
out to Matt Norberg if you listen to this episode.
Love Matt to death, right? But he drinks the orange can Fremont, and that
The
is
Summer
probably,
Ale, that's the best one.
That is probably the worst beer I've
Barking's
ever had
on
in
our
my
end, your
entire
dog's
life.
fine. What? The Summer Ale is totally fine.
It's
We
the
don't
orange
need to go
can
on it.
with the little trolley on it.
Yeah, that's the summer. The orange can is the Summer Ale, yeah. That's
Is
their
that what
best
it is?
one. That's their best
or
one.
yellow.
The yellow one sucks. That's the Inner Urban
Inner
IPA.
Urban. Inner Urban
The
is
Inner
the
Urban
one.
is
Yes,
awful.
that's the one that he drinks. It's
awful.
not the orange can. It's the Inner Urban, and it is fucking horrible.
I want to like Fremont because like they have some interesting sounding stuff and they got cool labels and stuff. But really, the only one I've liked is the Summer Ale. And I've tried a lot of them.
There's one that we've been told to try from both Matt and a few different people in the store. It's a Fremont beer, but I can't remember what it's called. Lush IPA.
Oh, the Lush IPA.
Yeah, that's the one that I was told to try because everybody says it's their favorite. So we'll give that one. We'll give that one a go one of these days. Bless me. And then Space Dust was another recommendation.
Didn't we try that? Did we ever try Dayglow?
We never tried
Dayglow?
Space Dust. We did Men's Room Red.
Is that the only Elysian we've done?
That was the only Elysian one.
Really?
But Space Dust was the last.
I've had Space Dust before. It's good.
I like the Dayglow better myself.
It was the last Elysian made here before they sold to Budweiser.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So that was like their last.
It's surprising Budweiser hasn't fucked with them more. They're still letting them do their thing.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
surprising.
I figured Budweiser Probably just let them do their thing for a while.
So
but.
yeah, I don't want to go too long on football because we have our whole football
Yeah,
special episode coming up. But
I
you did. I know the Pro Bowl is happening right now.
But the Pro Bowl fucking sucked.
Yeah,
dude.
it
Yeah,
does.
I mean,
it always does.
Every year it's getting worse. I said it
Do
earlier.
you actually watch it?
I mean, I check it out. I want to watch
I feel
it.
like you're the one human being who watches the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, but dude, football's gonna be over here
true.
in 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks after the football season, I'm going to be wishing the Pro Bowl was on TV every fucking week just for the chance to watch football. This year, it was just exceptionally bad. It was just twice as bad as it was last year. So it's just getting worse as the years go. I kind of like the way that they did the Pro Bowl a few years ago. When they did the draft, do you remember when they did the Pro Bowl draft?
They did that for a couple of years, didn't they?
Yeah, they did it for a couple of years. Teams competed, and it actually made the game interesting. People were out there making big plays. People were doing their thing, and they were fucking balling out. But then they switch it back to AFC versus NFC because for whatever reason, and it doesn't mean anything for any players.
Well, it's just no one cares.
It's a $27,000 bonus if they win. But at the same time, what does that mean for anybody? Because they're getting paid millions, so they don't give a shit who wins $27 million.
Eli Manning makes $3 million a game, all right? $27,000.
Plus, Mahomes is creeping up on a $200 million contract in 2020.
Yeah,
that's what they're
this
talking
is just like
about
this
right
is a
now,
problem with all the All-Star games, man. They keep trying to change them. Major League Baseball made the disastrous choice to assign home field advantage to whoever won the All-Star game.
That
NBA,
makes sense.
The
That
NBA
makes
does like a
sense.
schoolyard pick now, where it's like they have two captains and they just like pick their players one at a time, which they're going to televise this year. The NHL does that weird 3-on-3 tournament, which like they don't play 3-on-3 hockey in the NHL ever, except at the All-Star game. They're just trying to add a gimmick to get people to watch, but no one cares.
I like the skills competitions. I think
The skills competitions are fun. Well, they're like a fun novelty.
But maybe they should just do all skill competitions in the Pro Bowl instead of having a Pro Bowl itself.
Maybe.
And maybe just doing something like, maybe a home field advantage or something. But instead of making there be a game where they're going to play 25% speed, not tackle, dude, they're not even allowing tackles. If you put your arm on the running back, they blew the play dead.
It's
I think
the same
Alvin
thing in
Kamara
every sport, though.
I think Alvin Kamara and Russell Wilson racked up probably 25, 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage because Russell Wilson tries to do a scramble, but somebody will get their hand on his shoulder and they blow the play dead, and he's sacked for 15 yards. So it's as a Seattle fan or as a Seahawks fan, you're pretty used to seeing Russell go down 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but in the Pro Bowl, come on. Let the guys shine. Let them do something.
At least they used
crazy.
to be in Hawaii, so if you went to the Pro Bowl, you got to go to Hawaii. But now it's in Orlando.
It's in Orlando and it's rained. It's in Orlando
Nobody
and
wants
it's
to go to
rained
Orlando.
every year of the Pro Bowl that it's been in Orlando.
Yeah, right.
It's just pouring rain today at the Pro Bowl. But the Pro Bowl sucked. It was horrible. Bobby Wagner made some good tackles out there, which was fun to see. Russell Wilson kind of played like shit. Mahomes went out there and did his thing. He said fuck on live TV, which was pretty funny. And I posted the video. I posted that on my Twitter, but I don't have the Beefy Boys Twitter yet. Shout out to Joe. I would have posted it on there.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Pro Bowl is going to be a flag football game here in the next 3 years. Juju Smith-Schuster went out today with an injury. I think he hurt his ankle, so that's bad news for Steelers fans, especially with this whole Antonio Brown conundrum going on as far as he wants to go play for different teams or some shit's going on over there in Pittsburgh. It's not looking good. I was talking about Mike Tomlin the other day and maybe thinking that for the Steelers organization in itself, it's probably a better idea that Mike Tomlin finds a new team to go coach for just because his system just doesn't seem to be working in Pittsburgh anymore. I mean, they get to the playoffs. Usually by just scratching the surface, they'll get to the playoffs, and they'll either win a game in the playoffs or they won't win anything in the playoffs, which is just not the direction they're going to want to keep going in. It's almost the same as Baltimore, with this whole John Harbaugh in Baltimore getting re-signed even though they haven't done anything since 2012. Their defense is always really good in the season, and then they get torched in the playoffs by Tom Brady or somebody else.
Okay, I got to bring this up. I know we have the whole football extravaganza next week, but this isn't really football.
But this
related.
isn't Super Bowl. This is just regular
I know.
old football.
Have you either of you seen this meme that's been going around about this 10-year-old that won his science fair in Iowa because his science fair project was he proved Tom Brady's a cheater?
No, the only meme I've seen recently is that Scooby-Doo is a god.
I haven't seen that one. We'll talk about that in a second.
I saw the
so the
Shaggy
basic
and
Yeah, the
Famous.
Shaggy one. Yeah,
the
Shaggy's
basic
a god.
idea here was that for this kid's science fair project, he is like his school's quarterback. He's like 11 years old. He had his mom and sister throw footballs at various levels of inflation and and then tracked like the arc on the ball and how far they threw it. And his grand conclusion is that since his mom and sister can throw underinflated footballs further, therefore Tom Brady is definitely a cheater. And
that's
this
creative.
kid
That's
won
creative.
his science fair. Okay, first of all,
It sounds
your
like that
mom and
kid
your
put
sister are not a good control group. Really, what you should have done is build a throwing machine so you can make sure that there's no funny business going on with their effort put in and other factors you can't control for. Also, again, just because, even if I accept your hypothesis that you can throw an underinflated football further, that doesn't prove that Tom Brady underinflated them. You can't prove intent by proving that science. And then, like, I get that, like, people are bad at science, so the kid probably
Do you
doesn't
what I
know he
think
did
this-
anything
do you know
wrong.
what I think
But
this science project is, though?
but he won. The
shits and
science
giggles.
teachers in his school gave him first place for this This isn't science. I am a
football
scientist,
science.
all right? I'm a real scientist, and I
football
believe in
science.
justice, and this is nonsense and needs to be stopped. And
Damn.
all these people, like, well, Barstool Sports, who I don't like, are the only ones who called out this nonsense, this chicanery. Everyone else is just, like, sharing this meme, like, lol, this is so funny. Tom Brady's a cheater, right? Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, don't encourage this junk science and complete lack of justice, all right? That's all.
I see where you're coming from. I think the nerd rage is a little strong at the moment. But I understand. I understand. You know, a lot of screech. But I mean, it was probably
like
done.
this
It was
one,
probably done as a joke, and I don't think this kid expected it to go.
But
the way
yeah.
it did, and it did, unfortunately. And
To
now
be
people.
clear, I'm not angry at the 10-year-old. I'm angry
No,
at the
I mean, no
adults for
shit.
like, you know, like if this kid just had a fun
But I think
science
this
fair
kid did
project,
it as
people
a
are like, ha ha
gag.
ha. But he won. He
Yeah,
fucking
that's
won.
pretty
What are you
insane.
doing?
And I want to see some of the other science projects that were participating in this,
I know.
because I
The
want to
guy
see
who
what
does
he
like
beat
the,
out.
the fucking
The
baking soda
volcano?
volcanoes. Like, what
Hell
the
yeah,
F?
dude.
This is real science.
I
Or the
did
guy who
a
does the,
baking
like,
soda volcano every year I possibly
How
could.
far from the window
My
do
dad
I put
fucking
my
hated it.
plants or whatever? You know, there's like 5 science experiments that people do. Did you guys ever participate in science fairs, by the way?
Nope.
No.
No?
I'm not
No?
good with
No?
science.
I did 2. One time, my dad built me like a seismograph, you know, like an earthquake measuring machine.
Yeah.
And the other time, the experiment was to show that cotton balls can't be fluffed properly if you dip them in oil first. It was about oil spills and pollution because I love the ocean. I ain't scared of
See,
it.
those are very good science
Yeah.
projects. I think the only science project I participated in were the ones that we were forced to participate in
Yeah.
middle school or grade school or whatever. So I had to build like an egg,
Oh, I
an
was
egg
gonna ask you about
parachute.
the egg parachute.
So I did one that looked like a banana, that was just a coat hanger, shaped like a banana, and then I threaded it with like cloth, or not cloth, but like, you know, like I put the inside of it with like popsicle sticks, like glued them on the backside, placed the egg on top of a bunch of cotton balls inside, and then kind of put a layer of, like, I think it was like toilet paper or something like that on top of the egg, and then I put another layer of popsicle sticks, closed the thing, and it was like a banana football, and they dropped it from 50 feet up, and it exploded.
Yeah.
The entire thing exploded.
Yeah.
I didn't put a parachute on it. I just let it free fall.
See, the only thing I remember about mine is we tried to put like a plastic grocery bag as a parachute. It didn't work. It just plummeted straight to the ground. Like, well, shit. This worked when I tested it like from 4 feet up. Why isn't it working from the top of the building?
I am very, very bad at science. I just don't know it. I'm not good at it. I just don't do it. I stay far away from science. I'm horrible at biology. I'm horrible at chemistry. I'm horrible at all that shit. So I stay far away from science unless it's sports science.
Hey guys, Two Beers Brewing Co. Shout out. Mango passion fruit beer.
I'm digging the mango passion.
I am
fruit.
too.
This is
pretty-
drinkable.
it's pretty
It's a
fucking good.
sipper. And it gave us a
It's
chance to talk
6.5%,
football and
that's not
science.
terrible. That's not terrible.
Look at
On that science thing though, I do enjoy science myself. I don't remember any projects that I've done though.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Did you ever do the egg drop? I mean, I know you have
I don't
goldfish
think
brain,
I did the goldfish brain.
or whatever the California equivalent is, like quinoa drop or something.
Quinoa? What the fuck?
No, I never did a drop.
Yeah.
Except
Unless
for
he was
acid
taking a
ones.
shit.
Was that a joke or for real? Not you.
I'm having a feeling that Vito's for real on that one.
That would explain. the goldfish
No, I actually
brain.
haven't done acid before, but I've done
Oh.
mushrooms.
Oh,
To like no effect.
did you put them in your peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
I thought you were about to ask me, did you put them in my peanut?
That's
I'm
what
like,
I
no.
thought you were gonna ask too.
What'd you
Okay, We
say?
don't need to talk about.
if I was gonna put it in my penis.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's what it sounded.
no, I
Did you
didn't.
put them in your? Whoa!
Straight to the main vein, dude. Main line it.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
fuck.
Anyway,
Oh man.
catching a move on here.
Yeah.
Pro Bowl sucks. It's gonna be a flag football game in 3 years. It's gonna be useless. They need to do something about it. And yeah, so we'll save some more football for the Super Bowl
Cool.
extra show, you know. And so
Speaking
moving
of
on.
games, though.
Yes, moving on. Vito came in here boasting about a game that he just bought on Steam, and so I'm gonna let Vito kind of introduce this game and talk about it a little bit because I've never heard anything about it. So
Yeah, so I saw like how I buy most like cheap Steam games. I saw a streamer playing it.
Nerd.
Yeah, and it's like an $8 game off of Steam. It is called Getting Over It, and it is a game where your character is a dude, a buff dude, where the bottom half of his body is a cauldron, and you have a hammer.
Okay.
And the mechanic is you swing the hammer using your mouse and there's like different ways that you can do it and stuff, and you try to like climb up a mountain basically.
Oh, you know what? I think I have heard about this game.
Yeah, and it's really, really funny because every time you fall, there's like an inspirational quote or like some sad music,
Yes.
and it's super funny. And also, like, the higher you climb, there's like he gives like a little bit of story and background to like why he made the game and stuff.
that's fun.
But
Jeff
yeah.
Gerstmann talked about this on the Giant Bombcast a few months ago.
But yeah, it's really fun. It ended up being like a really cool like pass back and forth game where like if you felt me and my housemate we played it and did a like hand off the controller kind of thing when you when you'd like fall back to like a certain distance, you'd be like, all right, well you can give it a go now kind of thing. And we just like slowly climbed up as we did that.
So like when you fall down the mountain, do you always fall all the way to the bottom, or do you like?
No, it
And
depends
do you,
on
like,
like where you
ragdoll?
can catch yourself, and you don't ragdoll.
It'd
But
be cool if you did ragdoll.
but there are certain instances where you feel like if you made a lot of progress, but there's a hole somewhere and you can fall straight to the bottom.
Is it like 3D polygons, or is it like 2-dimensional?
It's I would say it's like mechanically 2-dimensional, but it looks like visually 3D.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's got like really good
And is it
graphics.
only
I think
on
it's probably
Steam?
in the Unreal Engine, and he basically
Everything's in the Unreal.
and he basically took like
Fucking mad.
a bunch of like objects from the Unreal Engine and just like piled them onto each other to make a mountain.
Yeah, they're cheating.
No, but like he did it like intentionally, and there was like he some of the explanations he does when you're like walking up or climbing up the mountain, like explain like the reasoning behind like what he used and like sort of like meanings like meanings behind stuff like. This mountain of garbage is a metaphor for life, except
geez.
but except with more eloquently put. You know.
Is it like difficult to control? Like, does part of the humor come from that, or
Yeah. So
it's like Goat Simulator or Octodad in that way?
kind of, except it's not that it's like
Shout out to the goats.
it's not like stupidly hard to
that's true.
control. It's just like difficult enough to control that like you can't like just do the same. You don't like press a key and it doesn't move. You're like manually controlling the moves. So you like
So you have to like rotate.
you
the
rotate
arm.
your
Okay,
and you can like extend your arm or shorten your arm, and you can like put your hammer on the ground and extend your arm to jump up,
Okay.
and then like hook onto something.
Yeah, so it's like what is
And then
it,
like if
gang
you
beast
hook
or
onto something
yeah.
and you jump up, and then you try to hook on the next thing, but it's not far enough up, then you like bounce. You hit the wall and you bounce all the way back down to the bottom.
No.
Yeah, so it's like it's really fun little like, you
Sounds
know.
like it would be a good like streamer type game.
Yeah, a good streamer game and also a good passback game, and also just sort of like
Are you playing with a controller? Or mouse
a good
and
little.
keyboard?
I play with a mouse, but it also
You need that precision control for your half cauldron, half
well.
buff
I
dude.
also found that it helps like moving the sensitivity based on what like obstacle I'm trying to go over as well.
Yeah.
Meow,
Meow.
meow, meow. But yeah, so just a fun little like game that you can just kind of go back and forth with, or like come back to whenever you want. Play
That's
like
cool.
2 minutes of it, and it saves your progress consistently. So it doesn't save your progress per se, but it saves like where you are. So if you follow back to the bottom, you're at the bottom when you exit the game
That's cool.
and come back. But if you like make it like fairly far to the top and you just exit the game, then you come back and you're already there.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So I've been playing. I recently finished. Well, literally yesterday, I finally finished Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
Which I get it. It's good. I don't think it's the best game ever. I really am subscribing to the theory that Nintendo fans love it because they just don't play open world games. Like, it's cool, but like, you guys know me. I love Far Cry and Ubisoft open world games. Like,
Yeah.
just fucking tell me where I need to go. Like, this was cool that I had to like explore and find the shrines and the seeds and like look for visual and like audio cues. But now that I know that I'm like done half of them and I just want to do the rest of them, I just want you to tell me where to go to do that, man. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's just me though. You know, people love that fucking game. It was really good. I liked it a lot. But then I started playing Kingdom Hearts because, like I said, I bought the mega pack or whatever, the $100 version with all the 11 games leading up to Kingdom Hearts 3, which comes out Friday. Now, I already
There's
asked Vito
11.
this
There's
question.
11 games, but there's 3 of them.
So there are 3 mainline games. Let's see if I
So
I can
Kingdom
do this.
Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2.
So I don't think there's 11. There's 3 mainline games: Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and then
Yeah, now 3.
3. Yes.
Okay.
There's the prequel on PSP, which was called Birth by Sleep. Between 1 and 2, there was Chain of Memories, which is a Game Boy game that was a card battle RPG. That's the one you played, right?
Yeah.
And then 358 over 2 days, which was a DS game.
Ugh.
Then there was Kingdom Hearts 2. Then there was Dream Drop Distance, which is a 3DS game, hence the 3Ds in the name. Then there was the newest one that they released as a preview, which was Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2, A Fragmentary Passage.
Jesus.
There's also Coded, which was a mobile game that's a totally separate universe. And then there's like Kingdom Hearts X, which is like, but it's like the weird squiggly X, so it's like the Roman character Key. So it's Kingdom Hearts
I see.
Keyblade. Yeah,
Oh.
it's so stupid. But anyways, I started playing the original. Have you ever played a Kingdom Hearts game?
No.
I figured. Well, I had to share this. Ara was watching me play it last night, and this is Ara's synopsis of the first hour or so of Kingdom Hearts, okay? There's a bunch of preteens hanging out on Kid Fantasy Island with no parents for some reason. A weird dude talks nonsense at you from a hole in the ground, and then there's classic Disney characters around somewhere else for some reason. This is the plot of the first hour of Kingdom Hearts. She pretty much hit the nail on the head. So, yeah, it's absurd, but I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I know that game has got a big following. How long was it from Kingdom Hearts 2 till Kingdom
I
Hearts
was in college
3?
when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in
Holy
2007.
shit.
2007.
It's been that fucking long,
Yeah.
dude? And then Kingdom Hearts 1 came out in like early 2000s or what?
03. I was 16.
Jeez.
Yeah, because it was post Final Fantasy X. So I'm on like this kick of like games I loved when I was like 15, 16, 17. Because I played Final Fantasy X earlier this year and now Kingdom Hearts, and it's just taking me back.
So are you playing
To
all the
PS2
originals right
days.
now?
Yeah,
Or
but
like part 1 or 2.
I bought the
or-
$100 expensive version, so it's like the upres HD version with trophies and everything.
And you
so
get like part 1 and 2, and that's it, not the other.
no, it comes with all of them.
Hey Joe,
Oh,
do
shit.
you know if there's been any news on Final Fantasy VII Remake?
No, that's the game's not ever happening.
But it's been announced.
Well, so actually, I do know that the director
And like you
of
can
it,
buy it on Amazon.
yeah, I wouldn't trust that.
I wouldn't do it either. Yeah.
The director of the Final Fantasy VII Remake was also the director of Kingdom Hearts 3. So now that Kingdom Hearts 3 is done, he might be able to switch over.
Yeah.
Finally.
I'm excited for that.
Finally.
Yeah.
You're excited for the Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Fuck yeah, dude! It was my top one before Final Fantasy XIV took over my life.
You know that the Final Fantasy VII characters are in Kingdom Hearts and they're fully voice acted. Do you know
Yeah.
who does the voice of Aerith?
No.
Early 2000s pop star Mandy Moore.
Oh man.
Swear to God.
No, I do want to play the
But she's
Kingdom Hearts games,
yeah, she
though.
was
I
in
should
a
do
Disney
that.
movie, wasn't she? Wasn't she in fucking?
Are they on PlayStation?
I don't know
She's
which one
Entangled,
she
I
was.
think.
Right?
What?
PlayStation
Yeah.
has Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. So the $100 pre-order I got comes with 1.5.
I mean, I'm not going to buy that, but
I know. Well, let me get through this. Comes with 1.5 plus 2.5 HD remix. That has like all of the main games. That's like all 7 of those ones I explained.
Yeah.
And then it also comes with 2.8 final HD prologue or whatever, which is just like cinematics and like a little short game. That's like a $20 intro. So like I think you can get 1.5 plus 2.5 for like 20 or $30, which
Yeah.
comes with 6 games. Now, granted, they're PlayStation 2 games, and they play like PlayStation 2 games. So,
Yeah.
like, if you have the nostalgia for them, it's good. But, like, I would just be reading a wiki the whole time because, like, they don't tell you anything you're supposed to do, and it's
Right.
not always immediately clear.
Yeah, no,
the camera
I'd
sucks.
probably do that,
Like,
yeah.
you know.
But I think it'd be fun to play those games and then like lead up and maybe play the third one, especially
Yeah,
if
why
I'm
not?
especially if I'm waiting for Final Fantasy VII remake.
If
to come
you're
out.
waiting for Final Fantasy VII Remake, you're going to be waiting.
You know, you guys are
It's
talking
a dead
about
time,
like
too, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I know, like, what's it called?
This-
Far Cry New Dawn comes out in like
this
6
summer
weeks, but
I've
that's
got
That
a
should
a
be.
short
It's,
game.
it's a cool thing with Far Cry New Dawn, because it's like everybody was all pissy because it was coming out so fast. So everybody figured it's like, oh, you know, they're just recycling their own game. It's like, you know, essentially, yeah,
Well,
they're
they
recycling it, but it's essentially it's just a downloadable. It's just
What
like
do you-
Fallout 3 Blood Dragon.
It's closer to Primal.
And it's just okay, Primal, exactly, where it's its own standalone game, but it's more of a just kind of like bonus
But
content.
it's reusing the map.
And it's reusing the
But
map,
only part
which
of
is
it.
fine. I really
Only
don't
part
give a
of it.
shit. It's a new scenario, new scenes,
I'm
new
told-
storyline, and it's $40, folks.
I
What
know.
the fuck we flipping out? They're charging $20 less than they have to, and you know it's just it's a downloadable content style of game without it being part of a DLC, which I understand. The DLCs on Far Cry 5 were a little bit on the weaker side than I had expected.
They were cool ideas.
I liked the Vietnam one. That one was fun.
I didn't play
where you
it.
had to get from, you know, I think it was like you had to reconnect with all of your platoon that was lost, and you had to get to the extraction point. That was fun. That game had its, you know, its intense moments, and you're running away, you're trying to survive. That was fun. I haven't played Mission to Mars, which looks badass.
Yeah.
Haven't played that one. The one that really killed it, the one that really killed the idea was the zombie one. It was just stupid.
I thought they only had the 2. They had 3?
They had 3.
Oh, I didn't
so
know
they
that.
had the Vietnam, the Mars, and the zombies.
I knew about the Vietnam and Mars. I forgot about zombies.
But the zombies were whack. So
Yeah,
I
that
thought
sounds
I
whack.
thought the zombies was gonna be like I thought that was gonna be like the Far Cry 5 map, but kind of like an undead
Like Undead
like
Nightmare
undead
situation?
nightmare. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like that, but it wasn't. It was like a Hollywood movie shoot, and it was fucking stupid. So I played
Well,
like 2 minutes of it and steered far away from
I'm
it.
told the new game takes place on the Far Cry 5 map, but you know how
Yep.
it was divided into the 3 main areas
Mm-hmm.
with the 3? Is in one of the 3 areas. And Bliss does not appear in the game at all. So none of that nonsense. I'm in the middle of doing something. Oh, no, it's time for a main story mission, I guess, that I didn't want to do.
I think you're.
I'm getting kidnapped. Great.
I think you're. I think you're actually playing as the father, aren't you?
No, he's in the game. You're not playing as him.
Oh, I thought
And
you
you're
were
not playing
him.
as those 2 women from the Game
No.
Awards trailer. Those are that's
Those
that
are the
guy.
bad guys.
So
yeah.
no, Joseph Seed makes an appearance, but you don't play as him.
I figured you would play as him.
I wouldn't
because
want to play
why-
as him. Fuck him.
Why wouldn't you? You know,
Cult leader
because he drug you into that Fallout shelter in one of the endings from Far Cry 5.
from the good ending.
from the good ending, but at the same time, he's not going
Spoilers
to keep.
for
He's
Far
not.
Cry 5,
He's not
by
going
the
to keep
way.
you. He's not going to
Whatever.
keep your
Into
character
world.
alive down there. There's no way in hell he's.
Well, you don't
gonna
play as that guy either. You play as a
Yeah.
different guy altogether.
That's weird.
It's like the same story where you're like going into Hope County to take it back or whatever.
Hey, I thought Far Cry 5, by the way, while we're on the Far Cry 5 train, was fucking awesome. I really enjoyed it. I played the shit out of it. I beat it super fast, but I played a lot of Far Cry 5 arcade. I did a lot of arcade
That's
mode.
crazy.
That was fun.
I watched a playthrough of the game because I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, so I didn't play any console
I
games.
just was like, it felt like more of the same.
And
It got annoying when you would be doing something, like helping out a stranger, and
And
then you get fucking kidnapped.
I-
That was irritating.
I'd never seen any of the Far Cry games before, so it was fun watching it.
But I liked
I
the
was.
bad guys in it. I liked how it was like the cult style thing. I mean, I'm always fascinated by that kind of idea, like cult takeovers and shit like that, and like having compounds and shit. So I thought there was spooky elements as far as like cults or just spooky
Far
in
Cry
general.
5 was the one with the
It's the one in Montana.
In Montana.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the one in like the jungle area.
No, that's Far Cry 3.
That's 3.
Oh fuck, dude! I missed like 2 years or two fucking games, dude.
Yeah, Far Cry 3 is like.
And then there was
09.
Far Cry 4, which you were in like the made up
That was
land
the Himalayas.
Himalayas, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I never paid attention to 4 or 5. I was thinking about 3 the whole time.
But dude, Far Cry
like
4,
3 a
by
lot.
the way, Far Cry 4, that was another good one. That was another fun game.
Ajay Gale. I like that one a lot.
Dude, I'm so behind
like
on all those kinds of
Pagan Man,
games.
although he was
Did you
getting
beat
that Paramount.
Did you beat the
The Yeti DLC? Yes, I
no
did.
no the beginning of the game? Did you beat it?
No, I
7
didn't do the
minutes
like don't move for 10 minutes thing.
Yep.
Or anything, no.
in? I hit that one
no,
first
no.
because I
I
mean
didn't know about it.
I found out about it through rumors, so I wanted to see if it was true. So the very first time I played the game, I beat it in like 8
That was
minutes.
actually the first game I ever played on PS4.
I think that was the second or third game I played on my Xbox One because I think I was given Madden 15 and then that shitty Spartan
Dork.
game. Yep. And
Rise.
and then I went out of my way and bought Far Cry 4 because I just love the series. I didn't like Far Cry 2 as much just because of how
You didn't like getting
it's
malaria.
just fucking
or-
hard,
yeah.
dude. It was so hard.
It was too
But
realistic.
I get it. People love that. And people do say, well, the reason why you didn't like it is because it's a hard game to play. Exactly. I didn't like it because I didn't like breaking my gun in the middle of a fucking gunfight, having malaria, and then catching on fire because the forest fires don't stop. So it's just kind of like, I don't like this at all.
All right.
So, but anyway, it's free on Xbox One right now
What
for
is?
the Xbox 360 downloadable
Far Cry 3
game.
Classic?
Far Cry 2.
Oh.
But I
Cool,
did
cool,
buy
cool.
the Far Cry 5 that gave me Far Cry 3.
Classic or whatever.
Yep.
Did you replay it?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Nerd.
Fucking awesome. Fun. It was a lot of fun.
I have one more upcoming game I want to talk about, and then I do want to talk about my trip to Leavenworth.
I do.
eventually,
I
but-
have a game I got to talk about
Okay.
after your game.
Okay. So the Anthem demo came
yeah.
out for.
Oh yeah,
For-
I'm excited for that one.
It came out for people who pre-ordered the game now. Now, they're calling this a demo and not a beta, and the game has gone gold, which means they're done working on it. It's an epic disaster.
Oh really?
Yeah, people are pissed. It cannot handle the server load, even with just people playing it who pre-ordered the game.
Is
And
this
there's all sorts of problems going on. Like now, again, I feel this is different than when the internet was all up in arms about the Red Dead Online beta because they said that's a beta and we're going to keep working on it. This is a demo. This is supposed to be a finished game, and this is a bad look for them after the disaster that was Mass Effect Andromeda. So I would say wait for reviews on that particular game. They're supposed to launch the demo to everyone next week. Right now, it's only available if you pre-ordered. So
that's not good. So you
No,
have
yeah,
you
that's not
pre-ordered the
good.
game.
I didn't. I've just seen the reaction.
Oh, okay. Whew. I was gonna say, damn.
I don't like.
I fuck pre-orders, man.
Yeah, fuck pre-orders.
Yes, that is our official
especially
stance.
if you're
Fuck pre-orders.
especially if you're not physically going out and buying a game. Fuck pre-orders, man.
I will
Here's
say,
one thing
though-
that all game companies should really take into consideration. It's super shitty to make people pre-order the entire game, so you spend $60 just to play a fucking beta or a demo of
But
it.
that's how they get you, man.
That's dumb. I think. See,
Don't
I
fall
think
for
that's
that shit.
super dumb.
I will pre-order a game if it's a game I know I'm going to buy regardless of reviews, like Kingdom Hearts 3 because of the nostalgia. And like if you pre-order, they give you a bonus, like a free game. You know, like when I pre-ordered the South Park game, the second one, they gave you
Fractured
the first
But Whole?
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
they gave you the first one for free. I'm like, well, I'm gonna buy this because I love South Park and stupid RPGs, so I might as well.
That was a fun game,
Buy
by
it
the
a
way.
day early.
That was a
Yeah.
fun game.
I liked the first one more, but it was fun.
The first one was fun, but I like
All
the
right,
second
all
one.
right.
It
That
a
was
lot
one
fun.
of ours favorite. Cause like this is just like watching South Park, you know.
And so the game I wanted to talk about is a big game for me because this was originally the very first game that I completed as a kid, and it was a game I completed on N64. It was Resident Evil 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big game in my opinion. It's one of my favorites, and I mean I remember playing, or I actually remember seeing my dad play Resident Evil 1 on the PS1 a lot. So he played the shit out of that game. This is back when my dad actually played video games, but I feel like everybody when I was kind of growing up had a PS1 and had Resident Evil. So the excitement behind having a second one come out on an N64, which is a console that we had, and then having, you know, the parents that I had, they didn't care what games we played. So we got our mitts on Resident Evil 2. So that was the first time that I actually realized that you got to follow the story, you have to go through the mazes, you got to do everything. That was the first game I completed as a kid, and it's not an easy game whatsoever.
You finished it when you were a child?
100%.
Resident Evil.
Couldn't take
Sorry,
Resident
did you
Evil
say
2.
1 or 2?
Two.
I wasn't paying attention. Oh.
The one
I
time
never
I
played
finished,
2.
the one time I finished Resident Evil 1 was when they remastered it on GameCube. Do you guys remember when it came out on GameCube?
I know. I tried to
Yeah.
play it. I couldn't. It was too scary.
I beat it on that one. It was good. It was awesome. I beat it on the GameCube, and then they came out with Resident Evil 0, which was a lot of fun. I've played through almost every single Resident Evil
The
game.
only one I finished is 4.
4 was a lot of fun.
I couldn't get through the rest of them.
But it's
Although I
just
did play quite far into Dino Crisis, but I love dinosaurs. So that's,
was the games are just too spooky for you, huh?
yeah, I hate spookies, man.
I know,
Everyone knows.
But I mean, the game itself. So the remastered game just came out on Friday, and the reviews are in. It looks great. Everything looks great. I mean, I have yet to pick it up. I really want to, but they've added some bonus parts into the game, some different things that.
Which one is this again?
Resident Evil 2.
Oh, is it a new one?
They just
They remastered it, but they added
like calling it a remaster though. It's like it's completely redone. Like
It's
they
redone.
changed the
Yeah.
controls. They changed like the way
everything.
the story. So it
Everything.
controls like a modern game. You know, you don't turn like
Yeah.
you're a fucking tank anymore.
it
There's
looks
a free demo.
it looks incredible. It absolutely
That's cool.
like it visually it's beautiful.
Have you guys seen speaking of remakes? Have you guys seen about Warcraft 3
Transitions.
Reforged?
I have
Yeah,
not
I've
seen
heard
that.
about it. Do you have details?
It looks fucking amazing. They updated everything, including the cutscenes for Warcraft 3.
Did they change like the gameplay at all?
No, because they wanted it to be the same gameplay.
Warcraft 3 to me just felt so clunky. Like it just felt like it was so
it's
zoomed in and
RTS.
so big.
It's RTS.
Like everything was so
Yeah.
big and clunky.
Well,
that,
I'd watch like a trailer or something because it might be different for you now with it being reforged. But like all of the models are reminiscent of the old ones, but
Right.
completely redone with new models. Yeah, it just looks really.
and then even
really good.
even StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 felt the same, almost the same way. It's just too clunky. I didn't enjoy it. But
See,
my
that-
brother, I know my brother played the shit out of that game.
Vito, you're like a Blizzard bitch.
Yeah, so real quick though, I'd say StarCraft 2 is on a completely different level from Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 is almost intentionally slower and clunky.
No,
Yeah.
of course,
Whereas
I mean, they're two different games. But
and StarCraft 2 is like not clunky at all. The everything reacts instantly to your controls.
I don't like. I just don't like how zoomed in and big it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that.
I think that's
not
just
much
because of the RTS thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I'm not
Yeah,
much
yeah.
of a computer gamer as it is, and I think StarCraft 1 and Warcraft 2 are the two perfect style of computer games. Are like
Yeah.
the
I didn't know you were such
strategy
an
games.
RTS gamer. That's so nerdy.
Yeah.
Dude, I played the shit out of StarCraft 1. I played that.
Dude,
fucking
you should
game
use.
forever.
I think
played
you
it all the
should.
way up. I played it all the way up until my laptop burnt out like 3 years ago.
I think you should use the Reforged as an excuse to play Warcraft 3 because the story's really good.
Dude, I mean, I probably will. And what I really want to do is just get like a Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, like kind of like the full set to replay
You
all
can
of them.
still buy them. On
I know
Steam.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
I know I can, but
We made a bundle.
like a bundle game and just have the opportunity to just put them all in there at once, play them all at once and just enjoy it again.
Did they ever finish all 3 of the StarCraft 2 games?
I think so. Yeah.
They were releasing the 3 campaigns separate, right? It started with the Terrans.
Yeah, they're like way past that.
They did that.
I know it took them forever to get to the Zerg. I don't know. I don't play these games.
The Zerg came out like 2 years later or something. It wasn't
that's a long time.
Well, yeah, but it's like an entirely different game.
DLC pack.
No, not even close. It's like an entire expansion with new units and everything.
It's just kind of like Brood War. Dude, Brood War was shit.
Yeah.
When they brought in the lurkers and shit like that.
I played one game of StarCraft once, and I lost because my friend Jeff was a super stoner, and like my mom, the doorknob to her bedroom broke off like in the middle of this match, so I had to go like unscrew the door so she could get out of the room. And then my friend Jeff called me and was like, "Why did you just stop playing halfway through?" I'm like, "Dude, I got real life shit to worry about right now." Okay.
I think the more frustrating part of playing like BattleNet and doing all that is if you have no experience with hotkeys.
Oh yeah,
you have to set up your macros.
Don't even fucking try to play a 2-on-2 or a 1v1.
Dude, I never
anything.
did any of the actual. Well, okay, I mean I did, but I never like really got into any of the player versus player.
Like
RTS
the tower
stuff.
defense games and like the sunken defense games.
I fucking
those
loved
were
the
great.
tower defense
they
games.
were all
yeah.
awesome. But then, if you had no experience
And like
with
the
hotkeys,
campaigns.
Yeah,
the stories.
The campaigns were great. I mean, just right off the bat,
like honestly,
the campaigns and the custom matches that you could make were so much fun.
Like honestly, I'd probably get Warcraft 3 just for the campaign. But I'd get the reforged version for sure, just to like see with the
just
whole
to
new
kind of replay
awesome graphics and
beauty, right.
and the fact that they even just redid the cutscenes too. Like if you see the trailer and stuff.
Cool.
Inside the trailer, they show you one of the updated like parts of the cutscene.
I remember how nice Warcraft 2's cutscenes looked back in the day.
Yeah.
Back when I was like growing up, those looked so fucking good.
StarCraft and Diablo 2.
Diablo 2's wow.
Oh, that's the other one. I played a lot of Diablo 3.
I played hella Diablo 2. I played
Diablo
a decent amount of Diablo 3.
Were the shit. I loved
dude.
both of those games.
Yeah.
My dad loved those games. That was like, my dad is never good. He's not good at video games at all anymore. But he just doesn't have the time to play them, obviously, because, he's busy and shit. We all are busy, but he's just, he's a dad. And dads naturally lose their ability to play video games. And so, back in the day when we were young enough to, like, sit there and watch him and be fascinated, that was, like, before Twitch or before any of this streamer shit. So it's an original streamer. My dad was my original streamer. We used to watch him play StarCraft. We used to watch him play Hillbilly Rampage. We watched him play, StarCraft was one of them that we saw him play it, we decided to play it, and we never let it go.
Yeah, totally.
And then they brought it out on N64, so then we played it even more.
I can't believe you played StarCraft 64. That's
fuck yeah, we did, and it was shitty, but guess what?
Me and my dad used to stay up till like
out
2 a.m. playing 1080 snowboarding on the N64.
I still can't believe StarCraft was released on a console.
Yeah,
I know.
64.
It was bad. It was a bad version.
It was really bad.
It was terrible.
But we still
Did
played
either
the
of you
shit
ever
out
get into oh my god, Hearthstone?
Yeah.
Hearthstone. I don't know.
Yeah, I played a lot of it, and then I because I don't have any commute or anything like that, I just never really stuck to it, just because I didn't have like a dedicated.
I was
time
big
to play
into it
phone
at
games.
launch through Goblins and Gnomes.
Yeah, I feel like that was me too.
And then I fell off, and then I came back pretty hard at the Elder God or whatever, the old gods.
Yeah, I did that too. Yeah.
And then I fell off pretty hard again. Well, it was like a hit. We were all playing it at the store at one time. You weren't there yet. But this was like Sam Blessing and I would discuss Hearthstone strategies every day.
Fuck him.
What, Blessing?
Yep. If he's a frequent listener, fuck him.
I doubt
I doubt he is.
Blessing is a frequent listener.
No, he's not. He's too busy going to Hellbent and fucking sitting there by himself. Anyway,
You're
fuck
so
him.
mean. Do we have any other video game thoughts, or should I start talking about my...
I mean, we have lots of video game
Well,
talk.
we're
We got
at 40,
video game
45 minutes.
Yeah, you know what? Let me just bust out something new for the listeners as far as like coming out here with the, I was talking to Joe, who's our fucking computer whiz, and he's kind enough to add a new page to our website.
That's right.
Which is going to be our video game reviews. So we'll give brief reviews on the podcast, but I can't give you guys my full-on, hard-on review on Black Ops 4. So if you ever want to check out our full reviews, coming up soon, we're going to have our reviews for video games and, possibly maybe even more in the near future of, anything that comes in like reviews of
Still
music.
a work in progress. We
Yeah,
literally
still a work
talked
in
about
progress,
this
but we
an
talked
hour
about
ago.
this an hour ago. But it's an exciting thing for me because I like to write as much as I can about something that I love. So if I love it and I write about it, it's nice that Joe is here kind enough to maybe possibly turn it into
I feel
a
like it's going to
full-on
be mostly Christian reviews, and then sometimes maybe Joe and I will
I don't
review
know.
something.
If I play a lot of weird indie shit. If I find something,
Yeah,
That's
there you
good
go.
though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the more the better,
and
But
then
I'm
obviously
more of a mainline game.
Yeah.
Call of Duties are my shit.
the thing is like our
But I'm the guy to tell
video
you.
game tastes are kind of all over the place. So the chances of us all playing the same game at the same time are usually pretty low.
Yeah.
So we try and keep the podcast discussion to like general interest, you know? So like if I'm really excited about fucking Yakuza 7 or whatever, and neither of you know what the fuck I'm talking about, then there's not really much time on the podcast.
I have heard
for
of
it.
I have heard of Yakuza, but I don't know that much about it.
You aren't familiar with the Kiryu Kazuma saga? Let me tell you, no, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, I think that's going to be a fun thing to do. I have a full on. I mean, I've talked about it so many times before that you guys probably don't want to hear about it anymore. But if you want to read about it and you want to read my full on, probably my more intelligent take on the game, that's less cussing,
But only
less
slightly more.
bullshit.
We are still the beefy boys.
I'll send Joe my review and we'll see if we can get it up on the website here as soon as possible. But it's something that I'm looking forward to, and it's something that I really want to do. As soon as I pick up Resident Evil 2, best believe my punk ass will be writing a fat ass review on that.
Speaking of how explicit we are, I don't know if either of you saw this, but YouTube released like a content guidelines how to get your video not demonetized, and basically, I mean, these things change all the time, but for right now, as long as you're not cursing in the first 30 seconds to 1 minute, it doesn't matter.
All right, well,
So just
we'll
censor the
consider
first
that.
minute.
Exactly.
We'll blanket. We'll be going black the first 30 seconds or
Bleepity
minute of our
boopity.
episodes, and then we'll drop in with a big old fuck.
Dude, we should just have like
You know, remember, there is 5 seconds of intro music every time, so we really
There is.
only have to do it for about
25
55
seconds.
seconds.
yeah. But what we need to do is have a 30-second ad on the beginning of every video of us just like actually advertising for somebody. Like a recorded
God.
ad, not
And,
a YouTube ad.
Speaking of Black Ops, I started playing Blackout mode to kind of get my grips on it, because I don't like to have a part of Call of Duty that I'm not good at.
You
I
must
like
use
to
the
be-
whole buffalo.
I like to be good at every single mode, every single part of Call of Duty. It's just what I love to do. And so I started playing Blackout, and I still suck, but I don't hate it anymore.
Well,
So there
that's
you go.
good.
We've made progress. So anyway, Joe, you were saying that you had something that you were ready to get your.
Well, yeah, as you guys
chops.
know, right after the episode last week, Ara and I took a trip to the kitschy Bavarian mountain town of Leavenworth, Washington. Have you ever been to Leavenworth, Vito? Or Christian, rather?
I mean, I've been there. I've been there a few different times. We went there back in 2016 for the Christmas lighting.
Oh, yeah?
It was fun.
The Christmas lights were still up when we were
It was
there.
wall to wall people, so I mean,
Yeah,
just
I
naturally,
bet.
you go in December, you're wall to wall people, and then this year, I actually believe when Haley was on the show a few weeks ago, we talked about our trip to Leavenworth and
Didn't
how
you
we
not
went,
go?
how we went to Eastern Washington to go to. How we went to Eastern Washington to go to Leavenworth for the Christmas lights, and we couldn't even get in because for 2 miles we were going to be stuck in traffic
Ooh.
for 4 hours.
Damn.
So anyway, tell us about your trip.
Vito, have you ever been to Leavenworth?
Nope, I never
Are
been
you
anywhere.
familiar with Leavenworth?
Nope, I don't know anything about Washington except for Seattle
So, imagine, like,
and the mountain.
a Bavarian mountain town circa like 1459, except it's in Washington State and it's 2019. That's what Leavenworth is. So you're completely surrounded by mountains and everything looks like it's Germany in like the Middle Ages,
That's funny.
but it's not.
But they have like ye old.
Also, it's literally,
bar.
but like even like the Wells Fargo and the Starbucks like look like old Bavarian buildings, and their signage looks like it's hand painted. Like
That's great.
it's also like a half mile long, and it's one road, so it's like the world's tiniest town. Anyways, Ara and I were there for 3 days. It was Bavarian Ice Fest this weekend, which we didn't realize. And it was Martin Luther King weekend, so it was like a long weekend. So we were there Sunday night and Monday night. And we got there Sunday, and it was so fucking crowded. We're like, this is like way too much. This is like the worst parts of Disney. But as y'all know, as an East Coaster, I can't stand people who don't have any spatial awareness or know how to move in a crowd. Like if you're pushing a stroller and stop it in a door frame, you're the worst person on earth. Pay attention to what's happening around you.
Seriously.
But like we went to this bar and I got a $10 pretzel. That was the best pretzel I've ever eaten in my life.
Dude,
First
the
of all,
food
it was the size of my
man.
chest. Like it was enormous. I got another one on a later date. And then like Monday was way less crowded, so it was nice. Like it was, like I said, it was Bavarian Ice Fest, so they were doing like ice sculptures. They had like a guy out
That's
with a
cool.
chainsaw.
That's fucking
and
cool.
That's awesome.
I'll post the picture. There's a picture of me sitting on like an ice throne, but I'm
So
not.
did you guys drive or did you take the
We
bus?
drove. We drove. I had the chains in my car, but we didn't need them.
You didn't need them. Well,
We drove through
honestly,
Stevens
going through
Pass.
Stevens Pass, that's shitty. I hate going through Stevens Pass.
How do you want to go I-90?
I'd rather go I-90.
Well-
I dislike Stevens Pass. It's too spooky for
So
me.
we wanted to see all like the tiny like Gold Bar and Index and stuff.
Oh yeah,
because
Ara
Ara loves
the great
like
town of Gold Bar.
Ara loves antiquing, and we were expecting like some like antique shops, but like everything out there is all like summer seasonal only.
Yep.
Or it's closed down.
Buy
It's,
your
like, super
skis here.
super
and that's
depressed
all.
out there. I
Buy
know.
your skis, and then legal weed is all you see.
So
there
that
in
was a little,
Gold
yeah.
Bar.
There's a lot of legal weed. That was a little depressing. I also didn't want to have to go over the I-90 bridge, especially in the middle of the day.
Here's the fun part about
so
Gold
I wanted
Bar.
to go up and around.
So we went to Leavenworth in June for my cousin's dadchiller party. So we found out he was becoming a
Dadchiller.
dad. Yeah, we found out he was becoming a dad.
Not
so
dadchiller,
We went
not
out
like you're
for
putting him on
for a
ice.
boys' weekend poker trip, and we rented out a huge house on the river in Leavenworth, and but we were all driving there, you know, going our separate ways. But we stopped at a Chevron in Gold Bar.
I
Naturally,
think I
you
might have
know,
stopped at the same Chevron. No, I
Naturally-
stopped at a Chevron in Skyhomish.
Oh, Skycomish? You actually
Yeah.
went to Skycomish?
Well, I drove through it. Route
you-
2, Route 2 drives right through it.
Yeah, but you have to go over the bridge to go to
No, I know.
Skycomish.
I looked at it and stopped at the gas station. I'm right after Stevens
Oh, I
Pass
see.
because I
Well,
really
that's-
needed gas,
Ah, that's cool.
and I used a really awful bathroom.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm heading in the same direction. So we get there, and we go inside for some sunflower seeds and Gatorade. And then, obviously, to use the pisser. So we asked the guy, and this place is just dingy. It's shitty.
Of course.
And asked the gentleman who was there if we could use the bathroom. He gives us some ginormous fucking key. And like I'm talking about, like, you're not stealing this key. This thing
You're
was
not
like
gonna leave it in your
this thing
pocket
was
by
like
mistake.
a 4-foot 2x4
Mm-hmm.
connected to a tiny little key, so that way there's no.
I've seen
stealing
those, yeah.
shit.
I think it's more just that you don't like accidentally drive away with
Or
it.
leave it, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, yeah. But in Gold Bar, who
It's
knows?
just cartoonishly large.
And so we go into the bathroom, and the first thing you see, there's just shit caked on the back of the toilet. Like, you know, nobody cleans the
Yeah.
toilet, so you know,
It's not
naturally
right.
you laugh at that. And then behind the toilet, there's a good old Gold Bar welcoming of a meth pipe hanging right behind
Oh.
the toilet.
Huh.
So we all took pictures of it, and we all laughed about it. But then when we were leaving Gold Bar, we realized, wow, if you live here and you have to eat at the one pizza joint that they
I
have
know.
here, at the one Mexican restaurant they have here, you would probably smoke meth too.
I want to
That
give a
place
shout
is
out
very sad.
to
Shout out to Gold Bar.
to Leavenworth. Now, I'm told that when you're at a high elevation, your taste buds change. That's why people love airline food, and people especially
Ew.
think pretzels taste better on an airplane because the way you taste both salt and sour changes significantly when you're at high altitude. So that might have something to do with why everyone thinks the food is so great in Leavenworth. But this pretzel I had was the best thing ever.
I had
also-
never heard of that altitude thing because
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
that's
it was
real.
airline food.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real.
But
I think that's the reason why people hate airline food. I mean,
People love airline food.
No,
In
people hate
2019,
airline food.
people love airline
everybody
food. I swear
hates
to God.
airline food.
No, that's not true. You guys are just
Dude, I
getting
think
shitty
you're
airline
full
food.
of shit.
I
What
think
is-
you're full of shit.
We will talk about this.
I
We don't
remember
need to talk about
flying-
airline food.
popular opinion
I got more
is
thoughts
that
on Leavenworth.
Dude, I remember
airline
flying to
food
Japan.
sucks.
The airline food from
But that was
here
like
to
20
Japan
years
was
ago.
fucking trash.
That was like 20 or whatever, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It's
but
different
dude, that
now.
was fucking horrible.
You
different.
get drunk on airlines. That's what you do.
You also get drunk way faster at elevation, by the way.
It's true.
Which
There you go.
So Ara and I had this cranberry wine that was like the best wine we ever had. There, we went to this tap room called the Bushel and Bee that was all meads and ciders, and they had a bunch of fucking like designer board games. And I'm like, I could just live here. I'm like, Ara, if we move to Leavenworth, I'm never leaving this bar. And I also have to give a shout out. So, are you guys familiar with that Office episode where Jim and Pam stay at Schrute Farms?
Yes.
And he's like, which room do you want? Irrigation, nighttime, or America? When we were in Leavenworth, Ara and I stayed at a bed and breakfast with 3 themed rooms. I'm not going to name it because I'm making fun of them. The Sun Room, the Lotus Blossom Room, or the Edelweiss Room.
The anal
The
vice?
anal vice?
The anal vice?
Edelweiss.
Oh,
Anal
Because
vice.
it's German.
I was gonna say we probably all picked the anal vice.
Yeah.
We were in the Sun Room.
Oh.
There were like seashells and sand everywhere. It was weird.
Ew.
We're in the mountains.
Yo, what the fuck? No way. Yeah, we stayed at we rented a Airbnb there. It was like I'm telling you, it was a fucking mansion, 3 stories,
Damn.
had a huge backyard, had a hot tub. But naturally, we're all a bunch of this is like the best friends that everybody that's grown up around us, right? So it's funny because they gave us a hot tub that was nice and full,
This one had a hot tub too.
and it
We
was
didn't
ready
use
to
it.
go. And by the time we left, that hot tub was half empty, and it just looked like chicken stock.
You guys can't be trusted around hot tubs. I remember the story from with the soap in the hot tub.
So do you guys know what Smirnoff icing is? Do you guys
Yes.
know what it's
You
like?
Yeah.
to eat
told
Smirnoff
us.
Ice?
You've
Yeah.
told us.
I mean,
Did-
it's
okay,
never
okay.
happened to me.
Yeah.
So but I didn't tell you guys the most notorious one that me, Blake, my friend Blake, and Claude have done. This is like the greatest one that's ever happened. So we show up at the Airbnb in Leavenworth early, right? And this is we're talking. This is in June, so it's hot out. But we get there about 45 minutes early because they all went to town and they started drinking. So we went right to the house so that we could get settled in, but we had no key, so we couldn't get in. So what we decided to do was hide all of our Smirnoff Ices all around the house. We just dropped one right on the stepping stool inside the hot tub. So you open it up.
Oh
It's
my
a nice
God.
a beautiful oak hot tub.
And it's like 98 degrees. In
Oh,
that, or
108
whatever, 100
degrees.
in that bottle.
And we
Gross.
just dropped the Smirnoff Ice in there, and we close the hot tub up and latch it up.
What?
And so
Jesus
then
Christ.
everybody shows up.
It didn't explode, did it?
Right
Oh
off
my
the
God.
bat, people are finding him. People are getting ice left and right. So then we're like, this hot tub one is gonna be great. So then my cousin goes up to the hot tub and unlatches one of them. So then we're all kind of standing around looking at this hot tub like, oh my God, this is gonna happen. This is gonna fucking happen. He decides to not open it and he latches it again and is like, we'll check it out later tonight. We go out to town, and mind you, this thing has been in there for about 12
Oh,
hours.
jeez.
We get back home at like 2:30 in the morning, and it's like, all right, it's fucking hot tub time, dude. So my brother goes up and he unlatches the hot tub, lifts up the thing, and right there on the stool, right in front of him, was the Smirnoff Ice.
Did he drink it?
Yep,
Was it like hot as
boiling
shit?
hot.
Gross.
And he threw up. It was fucking hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
Greatest,
Shout out
greatest
to Jackie.
story. Greatest story. That's my brother Jack. Jackie, fucking love that guy. Great story, classic. But Leavenworth, dude.
I do
great
want to
town.
give him
Great
I don't want to
fucking
give him a shout out. Like Ara and I noticed because we would walk around at nighttime too, and we did not see a single junkie or homeless person. And we're like, imagine if like Seattle was like this.
Imagine. Yeah,
How
fucking
great would
right.
that be?
Said I have
What's
to go
it-
to teriyaki time right down the street at Lake City and listen to 5 homeless people yelling.
I know
at each
my
other.
bike got stolen out of my backyard, which has a locked fence in it. All right, like it's
What?
absurd. Or no,
It
it doesn't
happens.
lock, but it has a fence. Like someone came all the way up the driveway through the fence and stole my bicycle. Like,
Wow.
what? What's it like in the summer though? Because like there were like 2 feet of snow on the ground when I was there, which was hilarious because there were a bunch of like 18 to 20-year-olds who had clearly never seen snow before. So they're like having snowball fights in like the middle of the day. And I'm like, you guys are like a puppy who's seeing snow for the first time.
Was it snowing when you guys went there, or was it?
It
just
wasn't
clear?
snowing, but it was. I mean, it doesn't melt. You
Yeah,
know?
it
There
just
was
stays
snow
around.
everywhere. Yeah, it did. It was snowing in the past when we came back, which was terrifying. But
Yeah,
I didn't need my
that's a
chains.
spooky one.
I didn't need my chains.
But yeah, so Leavenworth in the summertime is beautiful. It's nice. It's
Leavenworth.
you know the
in
town itself.
summertime.
The town itself. Most of it closes down at like 12. Everything closes down
That's
around
not
12
bad,
o'clock, which isn't bad. But there are places that are open until about 2 o'clock, and I mean, the place in the summertime is beautiful.
Yeah.
We went there. You know, we went there during the day and we had lunch. We stayed about a half mile away, so our cabin was about a half mile away. So we just all walked into town during the day. Got ourselves some hot dogs or some bratwurst, and that shit was awesome.
Shout out to the Bavarian Bistro and Bar. That was the best German food I had there.
And
then the Bushel and Bee.
But
was
dude,
the
Leavenworth,
meter.
summertime, wintertime, great town, great place to be in.
It was lots of fun.
If you've never been there,
You and Jane should go, Vito.
yes, you guys really should.
It's really kitschy.
And you guys should dress in your
But
World
it's
of
fun.
Warcraft roleplay gear. That
You'd
you
fit
guys-
right in.
You guys look the part.
I have some photos I can show you after.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
All right.
I love Leavenworth.
Well, we're at about an hour. We should start wrapping. I do have a quick. I asked for questions when we started. Shut up. I asked for questions when we started recording this episode. We got one from Tim Mahoney, big fan. Tim wants us to talk about our favorite snacks. He particularly calls out trail mix, but he hates cranberries. Those little fuckers are everywhere. So
Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its, really?
Oh,
Yep.
Huh, that's old school. What about you, Christian?
trail mix.
You're a trail mix fan?
Dead serious.
Have you
Trail
ever had a
mix-
Cheez-It?
I love Cheez-Its, but trail mix and what are they called? Honey roasted peanuts and sunflower seeds.
yeah.
Those are my
Oh,
top
yeah.
three.
Yeah.
My top three are
Recent-
sunflower seeds, honey roasted peanuts, and trail mix.
Ara and I
Yeah, honey
knocked
roasted
out
peanuts
like a
are good.
whole big ass bowl of corn nuts this morning. Shout out to corn nuts.
Oh,
They don't
yeah.
get enough love. But it's got to be for me the Trader Joe's Doritos knockoff and the Trader Joe's garlic dip slush bread. That combination
Dang, you
is
like that
awesome.
Trader Jose's.
Well, yeah, they're cheap and they're cool, and I can walk there.
Wouldn't it just be Trader Hose?
Trader's Hose.
It's just, yeah, whatever. You guys used to call me Trader Joe in the deli when I went to the cheese department. All right, we should wrap this episode. Let me get my notes open here. So, yeah, big shout out to 2 beers. This mango passion fruit was all right, quite drinkable.
It's really
Finished
good.
Oh,
two of
hey,
them in
hey,
about
hey.
10 minutes.
Tim also says something that's interesting. I'm reading Facebook right now.
I didn't have any thoughts on that one. You
He
wanna talk about
mentions that DMX is out of prison, which is funny because I talked about this last night. You know, X gonna give it to you. Dude, that video of him performing to half the world, like that meme of the time that DMX performed to half the world is amazing. That is just too much fun. But DMX getting out of prison, that shit is going to be hot. He's going to come out. He's going to put out one last album. That's going to be a lot of dog barking.
It is going to be a lot of
a lot of riffraff, and it's going to be a great time to re-listen to DMX. As far as summertime comes rolling around, DMX gets busted out, and we all get into it. But he says, now that he's out, do you guys feel that finally, after all this time, X gon' give it to you? I think so. X is gonna
Nerd.
deliver tough on his newest album. He's gonna bring out some, like I said, he's gonna bring out plenty of dog barking, plenty of prison
Like an
references,
Italian
Yes,
pizza
again,
man.
plenty of crack
Definitely.
references, and you know, if I gotta give it to you, fellas, then this better be quick. If you ain't ever been to jail before, suck my dick, dude. DMX is great. I remember listening to him as a children. Very aggressive, very fun rap. That's the shit. Before we wrap it up, since you're quick on your trigger, I didn't even get to talk about the concert that I've been fucking.
We're at
boasting
an
about.
hour.
No
Do
shit.
you want to do this concert stuff with football talk next time so we even out the episodes, or you want to do it now?
Well,
This
I
is
mean,
real
the next
talk.
episode's gonna be all about fucking Super Bowl. I mean, I gotta talk.
Yeah, but how long? We're not gonna go an hour on that.
No, but I gotta talk about some fucking Coulter Wall real quick, man, because that show was the shit.
We can put it. Well, all right, that's up to you. If you want to do it now, that's fine.
Okay, so I went to the show on Sunday. Me and my cousin Booge, shout out to Booge, frequent listener. We went to the concert. And naturally, Coulter Wall puts on a great show. And then he came on with another guy, I think his name was Vincent Neil Emerson, who is another great country singer from Texas. So they put on an outstanding show. It was a lot of fun. But there's one thing that I have to say that really bothers me about country and folk shows. All right?
Is it the country music?
Boom.
It's the basic ass country girlfriends, you know. It's like okay, so it's like, you know,
Oh God, where is this going?
any guy that's going to this show obviously knows there's going to be a lot of hooting and hollering.
See a lot
It's
of
a
like
fucking-
Jason Aldean.
It's a fucking
t-shirts.
country show, right? It's a folk concert, so there's going to be a lot of yeehaws and a lot of, you know, there's going to be a lot of that shit. Especially when the artist does something cool, you're gonna hoot and holler. One thing that really bugs the shit out of me is people who aren't used to the environment, who get mad at people who are yeehawing and hooting and hollering at a fucking concert. You know what? If you don't want to hear it, don't go to the concert. Just listen to it at home.
You're
But
such a curmudgeon all the time.
well, the thing is, if I fucking sit there and I hear this guy, if I hear Coulter Wall yodel and I get all hyped up, and I hit him with the yeah, you know, or not even the yeehaw, just a good old yell.
This is something I get as well.
I hate that shit. If
We
people-
have this shit in metal concerts. Metal concerts are the most rowdiest fucking bouncing around and
Yep.
yelling and screaming and fucking enjoying yourself time that
But
you're
then you
supposed
get
to
those
have.
people who like.
And you get those people who are like, I want to sit down and eat a meal
No,
and
I
listen
know.
to
You get
metal.
the same thing at punk shows. People want to stand right at the stage and then get mad when someone in the mosh pit knocks them over.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, it's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. If you're gonna be so prude, go sit down in the bar. Don't be.
What if you're
part
not
of-
21?
Don't be part of the. Okay, well, if you're not 21, then yeah, sure. But sit in the back. You know, stand in the back. Don't be part of the yeehaw. Because
What if you're too short to see over all the people
because
recording it on their
everybody-
iPhones, though?
Well, in the showbox.
I'm just being contrarian.
You know what I did? Hey, you know what I did really admire about this concert? No cell phones, dude.
Really?
There was nobody filming. I think if anybody were to film something, it would be for like a quick, maybe 5 seconds.
That is impressive.
And the phone was back in their pocket. There was, during every song, you didn't see a cell phone the entire
This
song.
was at the Showbox Soto?
The Showbox Market.
Okay.
So
So it
you
didn't
didn't
sound
see-
like shit.
So, you know, you didn't see a cell phone in the standing crowd. So, like, the crowd that was not in the bar, granted, if you're in the bar, then, yeah, you're probably using your cell phone,
Different
you're
area.
filming and shit. But if you're in the crowd itself, it's, like, on the ground, you're right there near the stage, dude, nobody was pulling out their cell phones. I love that shit, honestly. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, I filmed for probably, 30 seconds, but it was when the band stopped playing their songs, or 10 seconds during one of my favorite songs, so I can have it in my phone and I can always watch it and remember it. But, man, the show was great. He sounds great live. His band that he's touring with is awesome. I think just overall it was a great show. But if you do go to the concert and you get mad at people who are enjoying themselves at the concert, you're a bitch.
Yep.
Yep. Guy or girl, you're a bitch. Grow up, enjoy the show, have fun.
Sorry, guy, girl, or other, you're a bitch.
Guy, girl, other, I don't give a fuck what you are, you're a bitch. With that being said, the show was great. I'm looking forward to Kiss on Saturday next week, because I want to rock and roll
All night.
and party every day.
Dude, I really wish I got that ticket, but I just never
expensive.
got my shit together for
It's
that.
expensive. Shout out to Ramon for saving my ticket for so long. I
Ramon.
finally paid him. I finally paid the man. I paid him. He's a frequent listener. Listens to us while he works out. Speaking of workout, Vito's been killing it on his workouts.
Second week of running.
Proud of this guy
finishing it
over
off.
here. You're making me proud.
Finishing off the second week tomorrow when I do my next run.
Yeah. And then my girlfriend Haley and I have been hitting
are
the
making
gym
me
like
look
fucking
bad, man.
animals. Yeah, but Joe, you're busy, you know.
My
We got-
sister
We got some
sister
time.
told me that she couldn't believe I was the least beefy boy, even though she sees it in every photograph. And then she's like, "You're not gonna be that for very long." I'm like, "I know. I gotta keep up with these fuckers."
Yeah. We gotta see.
We should get a weight
field.
count. Who's the heaviest? Let's figure this out.
I'm probably the heaviest.
What are you at?
So I've lost 30 pounds in the last 3 months, and I'm 309 as the last time I checked, and that was last week.
And Joe?
I haven't slept on a scale in a while. Last time I checked, I was 288.
Okay, 281.
Oh shit!
My goal is to hit 280 for my brother's.
Yeah, you said that a few weeks ago.
For my brother's wedding, and I'm well on my way. And so
you're looking at what you're gonna get.
I'm pushing, and I'm huffing and puffing.
I'm hoping to eventually lose like 60 pounds or so, because I feel like with muscle I'm probably only like 60 pounds overweight because I'm pretty tall. But yeah.
Are you strong?
He is strong.
Actually, yeah.
He is.
I mean, I didn't think I was until I realized that everybody else wasn't. So
I know, it's surprising.
So yeah, Joe, we'll get you out there on the football field soon, huh?
Yeah, we got
now with the season coming to an end. If you are a listener and you do live in the Seattle area and you do like to play pickup football, so the Super Bowl's next week. We're running out of time for football. We might as well play football. Come out and join us. DM us. DM the Beefy Boys for a football game.
Message us. Don't just show up at the venue.
With that being said, Joe, go ahead and wrap this episode up. We had a blast.
You can find us on iTunes or on Spotify, also YouTube, Instagram at beefy_boys, Facebook, facebook.com/beefyboys. Twitter is at beefyboys. Sorry, Twitter, excuse me, let me restart. Twitter is at beefy_boys. Instagram is at beefyboysbudclub. I know, that's confusing as fuck. Whatever, you'll figure it out. Merch store, cafepress.com/beefyboysmerch1, and our website is beefyboys.com, where very soon we will start posting our game reviews, starting with Black Ops 2019. Can't remember which number 4. It is for. Thank you very much. So with that being said, I'm Joe.
I am Christian.
Vito, you got to say something now.
Yo, what's up?
I know, he's busy trying to
You're going to get the fuck out of here.